An important distinction that's made in the area of leadership is the distinction between the practice of leadership and leadership research. And it's very, very important, if we're going to improve the practice of leadership, that any suggested techniques for leading, any leadership techniques that we come up with, should be based in solid research. And so research is very important, and leadership scholars are approaching leadership research in a variety of ways. One of the areas that is getting more attention in terms of research is looking at the process of leadership. So a lot of our research on leadership historically has focused on snapshots, on particular points in time. So looking at how leaders react in a certain situation. But we don't know as much about the process of leadership. So following leaders over time to see how they lead, what the outcome is, how they adjust their leadership. So one of the areas I think that we're going to see a lot more research in is longitudinal studies of leadership, looking at leadership across time. A lot of leadership research, too, has focused on case studies, and case studies are very valuable in the early part of the research process because it provides some depth to the understanding of leadership. But it's really important, too, to do empirical research, to have large numbers, a large group of leaders to study so that we can generalize from one leadership situation to another. Now, leadership studies and leadership research comes from a variety of disciplines. So we have social scientists who are much more data-driven, much more empirically based in terms of the kinds of research that they do. But more and more scholars from the humanities are coming into the leadership, into the study of leadership. And these humanities scholars are looking at leadership in literature, passages, the writings of great leaders and the writings about great leaders, and trying to understand something about leadership through that literature. The study of film portrayals of leaders and how leaders have acted in certain kinds of situations, and those are very popular in the class to show excerpts from a film or from a documentary, so you can actually see a leader in action. And also in the arts, they're starting to look at leadership in terms of how leaders are portrayed in artwork. So, for example, historical leaders may have portraits commissioned of themselves, trying to display to followers certain kinds of themes in terms of their own leadership and their own status. And so we're having artists now going back and looking historically at great leaders, at Napoleon and some of the emperors and some of the portraits, and what are they saying to us. So there's an awful lot of leadership research going on, and the research is very, very important because it helps us inform the practice.